a roll call, please.
Board Member Alba?
Here.
Board Member Scafani?
Here.
Board Member Thorne?
Here.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Here.
Supervisor Down?
Here. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carries. Supervisors report, August of 2018. FEMA funds, $71,659.11. Medical insurance reimbursement, $150.66. Ambulance fees, $7,448.93. Town clerk fees, Easy Pass Conservation, $243.35. Cell tower, $973.64. Justice fees, $8,610. Building permit fees, $2,530. Dog licenses, $96.50. Central mail contractual, $52.15. Planning fees, $100. Water district miscellaneous revenue, $167. Miscellaneous revenue, unclassified revenue, $394. Registrar's fees, $250. Heritage donations, $1,215. Retirement reimbursement, $67.34. Pine Hill interest, 20 cents. Interest on investments, $5.24. Funds for fuel, $27,603.19. Shandaken Rural Cemetery, $4,562.25. Bridge New York, $33,637.34. Scrap metal, $348. Interest earned, $7.09. And ambulance donations, $250 for a total of $160,370.99. Communications. Month of September 2018, Safari. Following several flood events in 2010 and Hurricane Irene in 2011, the town of Shandaken created and adopted a town flood mitigation plan along with an emergency response plan. The plan was fully adopted in 2013, and in order to keep certain FEMA and other grant sources available during non-event years, the town was required to review the plan annually. This review has been performed each year by the Shandaken Area Flood Assessment and Remediation Initiative, or SAFARI, which is our flood committee, including several residents and other involved agencies who have identified opportunities, applied for grant funding, and performed several flood mitigation activities. FEMA also requires the plan be updated every 5 years in order to make sure it remains current. Part of the update process is formally adopting a resolution recognizing the members of the Flood Mitigation Plan Update Committee. Tonight we have a resolution to approve those members and to start the process. We received a grant through the Ashokan Watershed Office in Shokan and have hired Tetra Tech, the firm who helped us initially write the plan, to assist us in updating it and filing it with FEMA to meet all necessary protocols. Our meetings are open to the public and are generally held every second Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. in the Watershed Office on Route 28 in Shokan. Rest assured, we will be sending out questionnaires and surveys over the next few months to try and address everyone's concerns about future flooding and ways to help make our communities more resilient. Broadband. I was contacted last month by Glenn Faulkner of Margaretville Telephone Company, who's here tonight, regarding expansion of broadband and cable service in a portion of our town. In an effort to expand this necessary infrastructure to what are deemed underserved areas in town that currently do not receive the service or can only receive it via satellite. New York State had set out to contract with providers in order to extend these services to the underserved portions of the state. They selected MTC Cable to provide this service for areas in western Shandaken. They currently have availability to provide this service to areas in Upper and Lower Birch Creek, Pine Hill, Rose Mountain Road, and around to Route 42 near the town's cell tower site. At this time, they cannot expand that area. They hope that in future they may be able to explore going further east, but not currently. And in order to allow them the right to provide this service to these areas, the town will need to sign into a non-exclusive franchise agreement. We have a draft of the agreement available and are setting up tonight to hold a public hearing on the matter prior to next month's town board meeting. Morton Library. Morton Library in Pine Hill has been operating on a budget that has been funded by roughly $24,000 for more than 15 years. They are looking to expand, continue providing the services they have always offered and are in need of more revenue. They have petitioned the public and received the necessary signatures to request an increase in the funding to $44,750. This increased request would be placed on the ballot for November's election. Our resolution tonight is to ask that this issue be placed on the ballot in Shandaken for the public vote. Miscellaneous, we have bids that are to be opened tonight regarding a new sign to be erected opposite the exit from Bel Air Mountain onto Route 28. The sign would be paid for by the scenic byway communities and provide hamlet and village names and mileage counts to each. We also have our annual resolution requesting no campaign signage for the general election to be posted until after the Columbus Day holiday. This is merely a friendly request to allow visitors to our area to enjoy the beauty of the area during the leaf peeping season. 2019 budget. I have a meeting scheduled with the town accountants to review figures for next year's town budget. We'll have a tentative budget out before the end of the month, and again, as always, we will work to try to keep any increases to a minimum, and are still waiting to hear on the big ticket items such as retirement and healthcare costs. Salaries, again, are due to increase near 4 to 5% due to the increase in minimum wage for the coming year. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, October 1st, 2018 at 7 p.m.
Okay, so upcoming events, these will all be posted by Ellen on Channel 23, and they're on our website as well as our Facebook page. Coming up in the order they're occurring, Friday, September 14th, Kids Movie Night at Phoenicia Library, Paddington 2. September 14th will be a jazz quartet at the Pine Hill Community Center, 7 to 9 p.m. Indoor movie night at Pine Hill Library, Friday, September 14th at 6:30. And the Empire State Railway Museum is having a presentation 50 years ago on the Catskill Mountain Branch, September 16th at 2 p.m. The Ulster County Office of the Aging is providing help for individuals with Medicare counseling free at the Phoenicia Library on Tuesday, September 18th, 10:30 to 3:30. And the free computer fixer will be at the Phoenicia Library from 5 to 7:45 on Friday, September 21st. And also on Friday, September 21st is the Rotary Fall Festival Dinner Dance at the Parish Hall, roast pork dinner, and that starts at 6 to 9 is the dinner. And the Pine Hill Community Center is having their thrift shop end of the summer blowout sale, Saturday, September 22nd, 10 to 7. Come early, items will not last, good items will not last. The metal detecting workshop has been moved up here to the September 22nd at the Phoenicia Library at 12 o'clock. And one of the best things going is the cat spay program we have through Upstate Spay and Neuter, and they're going to be here Saturday, September 22nd. And Shandaken residents can get a certificate of their cat spayed for $25, as opposed to over $300 at a vet. So they have low-cost, high-quality surgeries throughout the day, rabies and distemper shots for dogs and cats at 9 a.m. You don't need an appointment for the shots. And that's it. And the DMV bus comes the first Friday of every month. That's it.
I'm sorry, did you mention Shandaken Methodist Church celebration?
No, I did put it on Facebook. I shared their event, but I didn't get a poster
So
yet.
Saturday, September 22nd, the Shandaken Methodist Church here on Route 28 is celebrating their 170th anniversary. So they're going to have a little cookout and inviting everyone to come and join in the celebration for this grand old building that's been there for a number of years.
170, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense if it was the 170th anniversary.
Oh, yeah. So
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
Monday through Friday, you're fine.
With that, we will move on to committee reports. Ambulance. Yeah, would you agree?
We'll change hats here. Good evening, Supervisor Stanley,
Good evening.
members of the board, and town residents. As summer comes to an end and weather starts to get crisper and cooler, I would like to remind everyone as they start or have started to turn on their heat for the first time to make sure that their heaters and fireplaces get serviced by a professional technician. Also, to make sure that everyone has a working smoke detector and CO detector that are in date. Most CO detectors are only good for 7 to 10 years from date of manufacture, and will also start to give warnings when they are starting to fail. The date is usually on the back of the unit by the battery and/or plug. As always, if they start to go off, please leave your house right away and call 911. Do not start to open windows and doors trying to air out the house. This makes it harder for the fire department to find the source of the issue. Make sure that both the smoke detectors and the CO detectors have fresh batteries and are tested at least every 6 months. Best way to remember is when you turn back your clocks to also change the batteries and do a test. In closing, I would also like everyone to take time and remember all the fire, EMS, police, and people that lost their lives 17 years ago tomorrow. As always, I would like to end my report by saying have a safe and healthy month.
Thank you. Building and zoning?
Okay, for the month of August, we had 25 building permits issued. I did 29 building inspections. I issued 4 certificates of occupancy and 9 certificates of compliance. And we had an income of $2,857. I also want to mention that I haven't received anything on 822 Woodland Valley Road as of this date.
Good, thank you. Police, Jim?
202 calls for service and 12 arrests. But most importantly, the Shandaken Day Championship Trophy has arrived in our office. Everybody wants to take a look at it throughout the year. Okay? And no challenge yet. No challenge yet. I'm sure we'll keep it next year.
You're ready.
I'm getting on next year.
Chad, you have 70 security checks, welfare check of 70. What is that more than normal?
No. It's
That's about average?
it could be a variety of things. It's people calling to go check on a neighbor. It could be us checking a business. It could be us checking a house.
And COPP, what does that mean?
Community oriented policing.
Community what?
Oriented policing. So if we go to the school and say hi to the kids during the day, Shandaken Day events, stuff like that.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Water, Alfred.
Each of one. Rick is not complaining, so everything is running well. He and Randy have been replacing all the broken curb stops from snow plowing in the winter, and that's pretty important because when you need work done and you can't shut off your water, it's pretty significant. So that's it. Everything else seems to be fine.
Next meeting?
Pardon?
Next meeting?
Oh, the 18th. 6 o'clock in the library.
Hillwater Museum.
Hi, everybody. I got a cold. I'm not sure how long I'll last here. We had 144 visitors in August at the museum. And as you know, we have asked for another day. The board had promised us if we showed warrant that we had enough visitors that we could get our 4th day back, because in the beginning there was 4 days for the museum that was open. And Kathleen is continually getting people calling for history of the places in the town, of people in the town, things that happened in the town. The phone is just ringing off the hook when she goes in. She has so many things to answer and packages that she's sending to people, to give them the information of their family, and people continually coming for that. We were inspected by Sarah for the New York State Charter. They have all the paperwork now. We have all the signatures. Thank you to Joyce Grant for that, helping a lot with that. We appreciate it, Joyce. And so we're just waiting for them. They have to pass it along to the board, and they said they didn't see a problem why we wouldn't get an absolute charter, so that we wouldn't have to do something every year there. My mom wrote some stories a long time ago, Laura Ehrlich. So I put it into a book, and it's at the museum. It's called Laurels by Laura. There's 93 stories about people and things happening in Big Indian Oliver Valley, and we've sold quite a few of the books already, and it's very interesting reading if anybody would like it. She had asked that I give it to the museum, so the museum has the copyright for it, and the books are for sale for $10 at the museum. Front steps were fixed, we thank the town board for that. Many more repairs that we need to have done, but they are fixed and they look really good. Let me see. We had kids camp come from the community center. We collaborate with the community center at the museum. That was with our Native American group and the museum. And we had 28 kids come. And we had Paul Tobin, a storyteller, Native American person that came and told stories and shared drumming with the kids. That's one of the many events that we do there. Shandaken Day, I have to say, it's the first time that I went with the museum, and our booth was the busiest booth there. I looked around, and people were there asking and looking at the books we had from all the hamlets in the town. And we had people that came to the museum after that, and I think it was a great venue down where it was. It was really nice, even though I got my feet wet up to my ankles after that heavy rain, like everyone else, but it was a great venue. We're going to participate in Ulster County Cultural Week. What else are we going to do? We've asked for an increase of salary for Kathleen, and you have all the paperwork for that. She does many jobs, as you know, as also with Monday's increase. And we still don't have any hot water. So if we can get some hot water there so we can do a little more cleaning, a little bit better, we'd appreciate it. And there's still many things that need to be fixed in the museum. Because it's everybody's museum. It's not the Pine Hill Museum. We received a letter asking for the budget for the Pine Hill Museum. It's the Shandaken Historical Museum. And please realize that it's just everybody's. Everybody who's here, who's watching this video, go to the museum and you're going to see your town in there. You're going to see history. You're going to see your family. You're going to see buildings that aren't there anymore. You're going to see all the businesses that were there. I mean, it's a great place to visit. I mean, we all should support the museum so we can always have our history to look back on. The kids love going there. I think that's it.
What has to happen to make the hot water work?
I've had 3 different contractors who were going to do it, and every time something else came up, or they don't have the time, or they just don't show up. Again, you've done this. You get a contractor, they say they're going to go there, and then they just don't show up. You don't know until they come knocking on my door and they say, hey, that guy never came and put the hot water heater in. And I'm like,
Okay, so you need to put a hot water heater in?
No, we need an instant hot.
It's just
Need
a
an
small,
instant hot.
small
It's an undermount
thing.
thing, it's a
It's a
simple little
small
thing.
thing, but-
Doesn't take a lot of time either.
There's been appointments, and Kathleen will go there and sit there and wait, and nobody will show up. And it happens with a lot of the people that are supposed to go there and work. She'll sit there and wait, and she has another job and other things to do too, like everybody else does. But that's, Rob, hopefully you can take care of that for us soon. We appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Recreation. Mark.
I brought some show and tell. I wanted to talk about the dedication of the gazebo in Big Indian Park on September 2nd. We had, in my humble opinion, a fantastic event. And part of the event was this display, which is a brief history of Big Indian Park. We had it up at the event, and I wanted, so you guys could get to see it if you weren't able to be there. I know it was Labor Day weekend, and it's a busy time, but the Big Indian Fire Department volunteered to cook and serve for free hot dogs and hamburgers. I know they had over 300 servings, and they were all gone. The Fleshman's Pine Hill Rotary provided ice cream. Many, many people, I don't know how it happened. I mean, I didn't organize it, brought desserts, which were great. This one talks about the actual event on Sunday. The first one shows Rob cutting the ribbon, and the firemen are represented there and some from the auxiliary. Over here is a picture of June Lamarca, who we dedicated the bandstand to. It's a picture of me talking, you should recognize me. Thunderbridge Band performed, they were fabulous. And then down here, a couple of shots of the crowd. We didn't know how to estimate it because they came and left and came back. But I would think we had close to 200 people there. And the clouds parted, and the sun came out, and it was really a fantastic event. And we're looking forward next year to having, some folks are talking about every other week, but surely once a month, music in the bandstand available to everybody in town. So I will leave these up here for folks to take a look at.
Marty, I just want to add, I want to thank you and the Parks and Rec Board and John Nicolati and the Beautification Committee of Big Indian, and especially Jay Jacobs. I know he made a large donation for this, as well as the Bel Air Conservatory.
Yes, they
It was
did.
a great day. We had a fantastic time there. I look forward to having the events there. And yeah, there was quite a crowd. I was surprised. Like, it was a nice afternoon for Labor Day weekend to just spend free time hanging out with the families and seeing everybody. And God bless June. You know, love seeing her every time, and she's always been a partner in crime to me for a number of years. So it was really great to see her and see her being honored that way. So thank you guys. Shandaken Day. So Karen had other duties tonight. I can tell you that yes, it was a wet and soggy day. We did not get to do the competition for foosball because it was too wet. We didn't do the water balloon toss. We didn't do a number of the kids' activities because it was soaking wet. The whole field turned into a marsh. Many of us actually were up at about till 11 or 12 the night before, because that was the night it absolutely poured and the streams were at their thankful. But we had a good time regardless. We had a fun time. We had a lot of prizes to give away, a lot of trivia questions. Everybody enjoyed themselves. They did well with t-shirt sales. And apparently a number of the vendors said they didn't do too bad, actually, and I think that site works. I think that the availability of the Wi-Fi and the cell service is a big plus down there. I think the access with the parking makes it easier. We may have to rework some of the layout for the field. But more interesting, and it was a conversation that I was having, and I think Gary, you were there, it was Gary and John and myself, talking about why we moved the event and saying about having the Wi-Fi and cell service, which started a larger conversation about, well, why don't we work towards trying to get, we have electric service in Big Indian Park, we have electric service in Parish Field. It's not hard to say that we could build and put something in there where we could have a router and a network extender so we can provide those services right on those fields as well. So we have those services available at the other parks as well. So we'll look into that over the winter, and maybe in the summer or spring we can start looking to get that done, get some service there. We're not going to have general service, we might as well have something that's localized and get people active in our parks. But we had a great Shandaken Day. We had a good time, and congratulations to Shandaken PD, because the foosball tournament became a cornhole tournament in the mud, which was kind of interesting. But we had a good time. Public comments and resolutions.
With regards to the broadband and Waterville Telephone Company, am I understanding that there will be a public hearing following this resolution?
Yes, there's a public hearing next month prior to the town board meeting.
So what's the resolution? Just to enter into an agreement?
No, the resolution is to set up the public hearing
Okay.
for us to enter
Thank you.
into the
Okay,
agreement next
that's-
month. So, yes.
Pat Nolan from Phoenicia. I also wanted to speak on the franchise agreement. Very grateful to the Margaretville Telephone Company for their work in providing this broadband service to our rural communities. I spoke in favor of a similar resolution that came before the county from the PSC. This is really wonderful service, and it's in some of the most poorly served areas of the district that I represent, which is District 22, Olive, Shandaken, Denning, and Hardenburg. This won't go into Denning, which is on the other side of the watershed divide, I guess, in a way that makes it hard to serve. But Hardenburg, which has had virtually no service, is going to have very good service. I'm thrilled for this to come across the watershed divide into Shandaken, into these areas. Some of this service will be potentially available as very high-speed, that is fiber optic type service, at least in Hardenburg, and I hope in Shandaken as well. So this is really a tribute to the foresight of the Margaretville Telephone Company. They've were organized and grown and are in a position to extend their service. through this New York State program that is trying to bring service to underserved areas. And just can't thank them enough. So please, if you're coming to the public hearing, come and thank them as well.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that, again, Glenn's here and he can expand on this, but MTC already has a fiber optic trunk line that is going through the town of Shandaken around to over High Mount down to Route 42 to the cell tower, so that's why it makes it possible for them to extend the service. And quite honestly, as Glenn explained to me, you know, all they need to do is provide broadband service, and they're willing to extend that to provide cable services for many of these homes too. So I thank them as well for going above and beyond what is necessary under the contract. I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Glenn, or no? We're good? We'll talk next month at the public hearing. Okay.
Thank you.
Gary?
I just wanted to check with Glenn. Would the service also extend to St. Catherine's Road?
On Rose Mountain Road?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Goes beyond it. So it's to go, as far as I know, what we discussed at the meeting, it was going to the end of Rose Mountain Road.
Sorry.
Okay, with that, if there's no other public comments?
Rob, can I ask,
Oh,
was
yes.
there a fee to use the venue down there for the Shandaken Day?
Yes. Yes, it was. We had to make a donation to the Catskill Center for Conservation and Development. Reason being that a number of years ago, there was an event that was held down there, and there were some complaints made by businesses in Phoenicia, I guess, that said that they were kind of usurping their ability as businesses by providing products that were similar to people that have, you know, pay their taxes, have a storefront, all this other stuff. So DEC saw fit to where they were asking for vendors to provide a certain percentage of their take